That's a funny thing to answer. So I had a question recently on YouTube about someone asking, what's the proper way to scale up when you have some results and profit? How do you scale up your trading? How do you get more profit overall? So maybe you make like a 2% a month and that's consistent. How do you go beyond that? And there's a process that works really well for that. A few things you have to do. So maybe we can start with this. I'm going to share my screen over here and we will be able to do that right here. No, I didn't set this up. Okay, give me a moment here. I'll set that up. So the capture. There we go, something like that. It's gonna look a little bit weird for now, but in a few seconds, it should be all right. Cool. So I want to talk about this because that's really a topic that a lot of people might not face now, but will face later. And you need to be able to deal with that, to be able to kind of perform and become a better trader. So there's a few things that go into it. First things first is, let me sure that's working right. Oh, this is messy. This should be here. Cool. So first things first is when you're consistent, when you have some results in trading, there's a few ways you can scale. Okay, there's about 5 ways, I think. The first one is you need to be able to maximize or find out what's not profitable. What's not profitable. Okay, so in your statistics, in your data, you will find some things. You can go through my FX book, you can go through whatever trading journal you have. You'll find things that are not profitable, different kind of market conditions, different kind of trades, some mistakes you've made that are not profitable, all these things. Okay, these are really important because they can help you get more profit. If you have some mistakes and you cut most of them, your profit on a monthly basis will improve, right? Will be better. So that's the first thing that's really important. Now, the second thing you can do, and this, by the way, is all to basically go back to making more profit when you're profitable, but not really big profits. Second thing you can do is you can maximize your gain. Okay, so max your gains. And what that means, maximizing your gains, is that you will look at things like scaling in, scaling out, to be able to have a bigger profit on your trades. So let's say now you get a 1-to-1 reward to risk. Maybe you can do things to get to a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 reward to risk. And that will mean that your profit will be bigger, of course. So you can scale into trades, which means you enter progressively. I know traders that if they were to trade like just a normal trade without scaling in, they will make like really little profit. But because they scale in, they add multiple positions, or while moving to break even, they're able to get a lot more profit out of a trade. A 1-to-1 trade turns into like a 3 or 4-to-1. And so that's pretty cool. Or scaling out, you can sometimes the move will be really big, but you only capture a small portion of that. What if you change things where you capture a lot of the big move? That would make a big difference. So that's what we talk about, maximizing gains. And also it could be that when you have a drawdown, you reduce your risk, therefore your gains will be bigger when you have a good streak. So things like that. The third thing is you can look at getting more capital. Okay, getting capital. So we talk about that a lot here on the channel, is getting external money to trade. So from investors, from people that, so investors like prop firms online can give you capital to trade. And those are great ways to increase your risk, to increase your returns. So think about the fact, if you have a 2% per month on a 10K account versus a 2% a month on a 200K account, right? It makes a big difference. So getting capital now is easier than ever. You can go to prop firms, they will give you capital for free almost, or for a little payment. But that's a good way to be able to increase your profits on a monthly basis. Okay, that's a really good way. And it's probably the easiest one because you don't have to like tweak things and make things and change things all the time. It's quite straightforward. Okay, so those are 2 ways you can do that. There's a lot more ways that you can do that. The other one that works really well is you're gonna add setups or strategies or markets. So add setups or strategies or markets. Okay. So what that means, it's pretty simple. It's like if you have a setup now, let's say with the Bonjour, I'll give you a simple example. That's simple. So I use a Bonjour to trade, right? And so Bonjour will be something like this. There will be a middle line here, and there will be the lower line here. So what I'm doing now is I trade a Bonjour when price goes to the top or the bottom. Okay, so here or here. I enter a reversal trade. Okay. Now that's my prime setup. I could decide to do this in different markets, like I go to futures, I go to stocks. I could do the same thing. That's one way, right? That's the market idea. Now, what if I decide that I could do two other things here. What if I decide to use this middle band here to be able to do things? Okay. Now the middle band could be good when you have trends. So price could break down, or let's say I just add to the middle band. So when price goes back to the middle band, I add to the position, and then that could be a second kind of setup, right? You add to the trade, it's like kind of like scaling in. It could be a good idea. Or what if I decide that I also add when price is in a trend, and the middle band will be something like this, okay? And this one will be way down here, this one way down here. I would add again to the middle band. That could be a way to also get more profits out of the trade. So that would be a new setup. All right. If I want to have like a breakout strategy, which is different with the RSI, for example, there's my new strategies. So those are all ways that you can get a lot more profit with your trades, with your normal trades, just by kind of adding a few things, right? These are 4 ways. There's probably more than that, but I just want to give you the simplest one, the most fast, the ones that are faster to act on. But that could be a way to do it. Well, actually, another one, which I'll give you right now, simple. Number 5 is using automation. Okay, I know the drawing isn't the best one. Automation would mean like you use algos, like your normal trading, right? You can trade maybe, if you're like lucky, you can trade let's say 10 hours a day. Okay, if you're lucky, you can cover that. That's a S hours. So 10 hours a day. Now that's okay, but you could do better than that with an algo, with automation. What if you could trade 24 hours a day? Okay, 5 days a week, because you're using an algo. Of course, if your strategy is solid and work well, this is going to give you more profit 24 hours a day, because you'll take more trades during different sessions. It's going to be better, right? And so that's a good thing. So you can use automation to be able to get more out of your trades. All right. So that makes sense. These are the 5 ways to be able to get more profit out of your trades. Okay. Now I want to look at the chat a little bit here quickly to see if you guys have any question and things to discuss. I'll be happy, as I said, to answer your question. We can go through things, and that could be awesome. Awesome. I'm just going to answer this quickly. So Dennis asked, how do you use volume as an indicator when trading? Well, I don't. In Forex, volume is a little bit not that good, because the fact that it's based on your broker, not the overall market, compared to like stocks or futures. So not really good to use there. So I don't use volumes. In different markets, for example, in stocks or futures, they would look at the volume when there's like a breakout, or the volume when there's like a reversal. If it's small, it's not good. If it's big, then it's good, because it's likely to reverse or break out, basically. Cool. Shane says, finding the FT more raw. Perfect. Excellent. So more capital, like we talked about. Perfect. Very good. Here we have, if I'm trading $20,000 capital, do I need to put it in one platform, or only the 1-2% per trade? So yeah, you have to put it into one platform, or you can do 2 platforms. What I would recommend is break this down. So put only, let's say, $5,000, so 25% of that into one platform, and then multiply your risk by 4, but keep that capital on the side. So you can put it in your account if you have to put it in your account. It's made for trading only, but it's not into one account where it's risky to lose it all, right? Because you could make a mistake on a trade. The broker could have any issues. and you don't want to lose that whole capital. So you put only a fraction of it into your account, keep the rest on the side, keep it for sure to be able to put in your account later, but you trade with like only a fraction of that and multiply your risk by 4, for example, if you put $5,000. So that's the way to do it. Okay, cool. What's up, Sam? Welcome. Okay. Excellent. Roshan says, I have a question. I took a course from Navin Pritiani. I interviewed him in the past. Navin is pretty cool, a nice guy, and a great trader too. He says, I know strategies work and is profitable, but I'm having a hard time finding consistency. Okay, so let's go again on the whiteboard. I think it's a good way to teach you that. A second here. Perfect. Awesome. Now we'll have to go away from that a little bit. Okay. So consistency is something that you don't find. You cannot go like the grocery store, ask for consistency, they won't give you. So you got to find a way to make it work better than that. And the way you get consistency is a few things, right? So first of all, you got to be consistent to yourself. That's obvious. So let's like do that. So there's a few things, right? First thing is you got to be consistent yourself. So consistent habits. Okay. The thing is, if you don't review the market at the same time every day, you won't be consistent. If you don't play trades with the same strategy every day, you won't be consistent. If you don't do your meditation every day, you might get by, but not as good as if you do it, right? So that's the first principle. Actually, I'm going to try to write bigger for you guys. Cool. That's the first principle. So the second principle, which is going to be like more bigger now. Awesome. Second principle is you need to be able to evaluate your trades. We'll call it like that. Evaluate your trades. Okay. And the way you do this is you have to classify them first, and you have to track what you're doing. Now, I just did a video on that, which I didn't publish yet. But most people think that they do everything well in trading. They think that they take all the good trades, but in fact, a lot of the trades they take are not that good. Okay, it's part of it's like a bias or something. Okay, so you think you do things right, but you don't. So what you do then is you have to find a way to classify your trades, and the way you classify your trades is you have to log them somewhere. Okay, and what I want to show you is kind of the process I used to log them myself. You could do that, or give me a second here. Good. You could do that or something different. So what I do to track my trade is simple. Is I use these kind of sites where they have different boards. All right, so you have a few different boards. You have like 4 boards. So it's not straight, not at all. Not straight at all, not straight at all. So what you want to do is you want to be able to track your trades and classify them properly into here, good, win, good, loss, bad, win, and here bad loss. Okay. So every time you take a trade, it has to be into one of these categories. You know when you close it, of course. So a good win is a trade that you take that was following your plan and then you win it. Okay, now your plan should be able to dictate that. If the trade is following your plan and it's a good trade, or if it's following your plan and you win it, it's a good win. If it's following your plan, like you respected all the rules on your plan, but it's a loss, then you put it here. Okay. If it's not following your plan but it's a win, which is you're gonna be tempted to put it here. Okay, but you cannot do that. You have to put it here. It's a bad win. If it's there should be bad loss. If it's a trade that you lose and not following your plan, you put it here again. Now again, you'll be tempted to put it here maybe, but maybe here you'll be more responsible because it's a losing trade anyway. So that's why you classify your trades. Now what you want to do is some of them will fall here for sure in the bad category. Okay, and these are all these they will have a few things in common most of the time. I cannot tell you what exactly. It's going to be based on you and how you trade, but they will have a few things in common that you always mess up. And so what you want to do is you want to be able to find a way to avoid that next time. Okay, not this time. It's okay. You can be gentle on yourself, so it's totally fun, but avoid next time. Okay, so next time you want to be able to avoid that and find a way to not take these trades. Basically, these trades here, they're good because they follow your plan. Okay, but you need to be good enough where you know where to put the trades. Okay, if you put them in the good but they're bad trades, it's not gonna work. This is useless. But if you put them in the right category, then you're gonna be able to move forward and progress, and that's gonna be really good. Okay, now let's say that you do this, and this result here over many trades, like at least 30 trades or 40 trades, this is not profitable. Well, that means that we get to a third way to become consistent is you need to adjust the market. Just to the market. Okay, so that means that if it's not profitable like this, there must be something you do wrong and you need to correct that. So maybe the market now is different. You need to adjust to that, or maybe you should not trade now because the market's like way too crazy, or maybe your strategy doesn't work with this market, or maybe you should adjust something because this strategy trade now used to work many years ago, not today. So that's something you'll know. But that's the third step into being consistent is consistent habits first, evaluate your trade second, and adjust the market next. Okay. Now this is not changing your strategy. Okay, you cannot change everything. It's just adjusting over time slightly based on how the market changes, based on things that are proven to be more profitable or less profitable, and making it better over time. Okay. So that's how this works. Hope that makes sense. This is how you become consistent in trading. Okay. Then it says, I like what you said about reversal. Awesome. Cool. And let me go back here. And if you have any question, you can comment in the chat, like always. Quick reminder here. And if you do not follow me on Instagram yet, you can do that too while I'm answering some question here. I'm posting a lot there recently, so you can just follow me there. That would be awesome. And we can chat if you want. You can send me a message there. I'm a lot more responsive. It's sad that YouTube doesn't have any message function. You cannot message someone on YouTube. So, but if you follow me if you message me on Instagram, actually, I'll be happy to reply to you and give you some time for sure after the video is done. Awesome. So that being said, let's go back to your question. We have a question here from, yes, the step-by-step process. I just answered that for consistency. There we go. Okay. Mega Marcus says, what do you think is the best way to improve mindset required when trading? That's a that's a tough answer. That's a tough one. So here's the thing. Mindset is something that is complex a little bit. The best way I've been able to improve that is through exercise and meditation. So I took a course recently, actually a coaching recently by Randy Owl, and that helped me a lot to become better with mindset. So I did a lot of exercise, a lot of meditation, a lot of breathing exercise, things of the sort, to be able to get better. And when you understand how your mind works, like what process you go through, also what other things you need to have in your mind for good trading, that's when things really change. But unfortunately, it's really hard to do, like with a YouTube live. You can't really answer that. So you got to do coaching, I think. That's what I've seen for myself. Best way to be able to improve your mindset. Okay. Omni says, what do you recommend? What resource do you recommend to learn more about systematic trading, especially the backtesting part? Well, backtesting it shouldn't be hard. It's like testing your strategy. So what I recommend is you can go to YouTube, you can search backtesting, and then results trade. You'll find something there for sure. I've done videos in the past about software to use for backtesting, what to avoid, what to do, and everything of the sort. I would say that's like probably the best resource to be able to learn that. So yeah, that would be the best thing. Dennis asked, do you have a quick hack to scale in, scale out when in the trade? I've done videos on that in the past, about like a month ago. They didn't get many views for some reason. They had like really low views, but that I don't really care. You should search that on YouTube. Scale in, scale out, desire to trade. You'll find the videos there for sure. So one is about scaling, and one is about scale out. There's like 5 ways each. So you have a lot to be able to do that. So that should be able to help a lot. Whether you learn systematic trading or discretionary trading, based on the Pierre's question, from Myanmar, I think, is basically your personality. So which one is the best for you? For me, systematic. For you might be different. I'm not sure. Tenzin says, while adjusting while adjusting my strategy with the market, I will be checking my strategy doesn't affect my consistency. Yeah, so it might affect your consistency, but you got to make sure that what you adjust and things you change have been tested and proven by your backtesting, by your experiments and things of the sort. So you don't change like from scratch. It's a process you have to go through where you backtest it first, test the demo for a while, and then go into live after that. So it won't change like a week. It's gonna maybe change for like a month, 2 months. It's gonna take time. So that's how you become more consistent. Awesome. So if you have any question, I'm happy to answer them. As I said, I'm here to be able to do that. Also, we're doing a giveaway, just to remind you. I got a bunch of these new hats. I had a designer design them for me online, so you can buy them, but I'll give you for free. So I'll pick 5 people to go to get these hats for free. I'll send them by mail pretty soon. So the only thing you gotta do is you gotta subscribe to this channel. You gotta make sure to comment in the chat or the comment section, and you'll be receiving one by the mail later. Okay, I'll pick 5 people and announce them pretty soon. Okay, here we have a question from Vivek, who asks, how long do you stay on the charts? How do you manage time management? How do you manage time management? Good question. So I spend about 30 minutes maximum in front of the chart. That's because I swing trade. I don't have to be there all the time. I have an algo trading for me. So that really helps. So yeah, that's it. And then when I work, I try to get out or do something else every hour or something. So stand up, do something different. That really makes a big difference. And the rest is all about going out too. So, but if you want to know more about time management, I plan like everything on my calendar. Everything is there from like X hour and everything. So everything is strict with some free time, of course, during the day. So I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do, what I have to work on. It's all done on the calendar. And I plan this like once a week. So nothing to worry about there. It's all planned out. So that's my key to my time management, of course. And a lot of time management is more like energy management. It's more about make sure you always energize all the time. And so that goes with good health. That goes with eating right, sleeping right too. So a lot of things that I try to do as well. Definitely. So it's a lot to cover, but that's about it. Mega Marcus says, is there a difference in mindset when trading a big account and a small account? Example, 10K and 1 million. So, okay, this is funny because I hear a lot of people that say that, oh, it's just numbers. Trading a $10,000 account and a 1 million is the same, it's just numbers that are different. While people that say that, they never went through the experience of doing it. I've seen for a fact that when you go into into bigger numbers of account, you're likely to screw up more. And that's because the numbers are different, but numbers, they mean something to you. And it's not about the numbers, it's about what it means to you and what it looks like in your mind. So yeah, if you grew up with like $1 million or like your parents were rich, it's gonna be easier. But if you grew up normally, like me, then it's gonna take more time. And that's why you have to go progressively, like step by step. And you gotta have a strategy to increase or to scale up to increase your size as well. So part of the reason why I did coaching with Randy Owl recently was to be able to scale up more. So I got to a point where I have to scale up more, of course, and I had to be able to overcome that. It's not easy to go through. So that took time. What you got to realize is what happens when you scale up, and if you can break down that process of what you experience when you scale up and how you fail to scale up, it's when you can find out how to do it right. So it took me a lot of time, but it's definitely something that you have to go through and look at your mindset for sure. Here we have Yeah. Mega Marcus says, are there any books you recommend for improving mindset? I did a video on that recently. No, not recently. A long time ago, about improving your mind. Books for trading psychology, actually. And I don't remember exactly all the books. You can find this on YouTube for sure by typing "trading psychology books." There's Art to Trade. The first book for sure was Trading the Zone by Mark Douglas. There was Daily Trading Coach 101, something of the sort, by Breston Barger. There was a few more, so you have to check out that. Probably Mindful Trading too by Steve Ward. So you can check that out after that. Those are only a few books. Yes, I'm a swing trader. We have a few questions here about swing trading and time frames. So I swing trade Forex. I trade the forward chart and the 1 hour chart. Those are all traded with algos most of the time. So I don't do anything in the day, pretty much. Just look at my charts, my zones. But I used to trade money before. So this is a process that I've been going through for the past year and a half to be able to use an algo to trade. It took a long time, but it's worth it. So happy I did it. That's a good question. When a random person asks you what you do for a living, what do you tell them? It really depends. You kind of have to judge who the person is and what they do. So if it's someone like really clueless or I don't want to talk about it, I'll just say like, oh, I own a business and that's it. But if it's someone that I see that they're like a little bit more smart, I might say, oh, I'm a trader. Then they always ask, oh, they always say, oh, me too, I also trade. But I say, like, oh, it's different. So it's always changing. I'll change it because based on the person I talk to. So either a trader or business person or whatever that is. So people understand. So yeah, I might say YouTuber too sometimes, even though it doesn't really qualify. I don't see myself as a YouTuber that much, but that depends on who I talk to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Uh, Tenzin, so Kimar's asking about FTMO. You have to specify that more. What do you want to know about FTMO exactly? I'm happy to answer that, but you have to be more precise. Tenzin is asking, some professionals say they are using different strategies for ranging markets and different strategies for trending markets. The question is, how do they know when the market will be ranging or trending? They look at highs and lows. So it's really easy. I think everyone can do that. Spot the let me see what the charts are. And that's my chart somewhere. Okay, we'll start that again. So everyone pretty much can know if it's ranging or trending. Even like a 5-year-old could do that, or 7 years old could do that. So you look at the chart, you look at the highs and lows, and that should tell you if it's ranging or trending. So you do that on a higher time frame, of course, and you'll be able to adjust that. Okay. So let's do a quick quiz here for fun. You guys tell me if it's ranging or trending. Okay. How about this pair? This is USD Singapore weekly chart. Is it ranging or trending? Okay, it's ranging because you have these highs, these lows. It's always the same, except this one where we came back inside the range. Here, well, so this is a bit messy. Is it ranging or trending? So for price to be ranging, you have to have higher highs or low, and you have to have higher highs and higher lows, or lower highs and lower lows. Okay. So how that works is you just look at the charts, right? So here it's clearly messy. So I would say this is sideways. So we had this price going down for a while. I'm gonna need my pen here. Price going down for a while, and then we get this boom here. So we don't have any more lower lows and lower highs because we break that. And so after that, we have these this period here, which is really sideways, and now we're stuck in that. So definitely sideways here. Okay. LGBY is also sideways in principle. We had these. See, we have this lower low here. We had lower low there. Let's see there. Okay, here again. So we always went down in lows and in highs as well. Okay, but now we get to a point where price reaches the same high. So no longer a trend. This is getting sideways. So this is sideways again over here. A lot of pairs are sideways these days, sideways too. Although this here, if it continues, could be a trend. So we have this higher low from here, and then this high. And the only reason why I say maybe, and it's actually written on the chart, potential breakout. Actually, the reason why this is not really a trend for me is because we're still in the range. But when we break out of the range, which is this range over here, we will be in a trend basically. Okay. This pair here is trending. So we had these lows, then we broke it, same high, right? Not really working. Same high, and then we come back here to retest, but we have higher lows for now. Okay, so this one is trending. So that's I'm gonna go through all of them. This is sideways because it's not really relevant, and it's something that you can do yourself, and you have to practice a lot. But when you practice enough, you get it, and you are good to go after that. Okay, and you shouldn't have any issue to define if it's trending or ranging. Okay. Let me find back the stream. Lost it. Awesome. Cool. Ajay says, how long did it take you to become consistent? It took me about 3 to 4 years. Yeah, 2013, 2016 or so. Yeah. Okay, so Nevin's doing it again. That's okay. You just have to be able to apply. So here's one thing I will say. Nevin is a really good teacher, really good concept, and he's a really good trader too, from what I've seen in all the time I spent with him. The only thing is that he's more of a discretionary trader. Okay, so if you go with that, then that's awesome. That's perfect. But if you don't like discretionary trading, you'll have a hard time with price action, especially because it's really based on discretion. So I'm more like a systematic trader. So I prefer systems and objective things, and that's why it's just different. But you gotta look at what's better for you. Of course, you can make price action more systematic. You can do that, but it's gonna take you effort too to be able to make it more strict and more systematic. Kimar says, have you started with so that again, have you started straight with FTMO after completing the challenge, or do you think you wouldn't take up the challenge? I mean, would you not bother taking the FTMO challenge, or would you recommend? Okay, so would you recommend taking the FTMO challenge? It depends on where you are in your career. So if you're lacking capital, which means if you have below $50,000, I would say, then definitely take the challenge. Definitely try to get funded, because that's going to increase your returns and increase your capital too. So you're going to be able to get your goals of either trading full time or traveling or whatever goals you have faster. Now, if you have more capital than that, $50,000 and more, then I would say challenge not that necessary for now. You can just trade your own money, because remember that $50,000 is the same thing as $100,000 with FTMO, right? Because you get half the returns. So if you trade your own money, you can be a little bit more aggressive if you want. You can change the parameters a little bit more compared to the rules by FTMO, or even different platforms the same. So that gives you more time to be able to do things right, and also less pressure too. So if you have money, you can do your money. That's why I don't do FTMO myself, is because for me it's easier to get more capital and put it into my account than bothering with platforms and things. So I don't really need that for now. But if you need that, then you can go for that. So it's definitely worth it. Cool. So quick reminder again. The giveaway is these hats over here. So I didn't really do those before, these kind of giveaways and these special like 36,000 subscribers things and all that. So I'm not giving these hats away. Look, people seem to like them. I wear them all the time. It's pretty good. So if you want to get one of those, I'll ship you by the mail. Just have to comment in the chat and or the comments, and also subscribe to the channel. And once you do that, you'll be entering right away. I'll pick 5 people to be able to win these, and I'll ship you by the mail anywhere in the world. So it doesn't matter where you are. We'll ship you a hat like this. You can wear it or not. and use it totally for you. They're pretty comfortable. I wear them all the time. So, and they have my logo on it, of course. Awesome. That's covered. Cool. So with FTMO, do you need to have a track record of trading real money before you apply for the challenge? No, you don't have to have this record. The challenge is a demo account, so you don't have to have all of that. And you have to basically just win the challenge. That's all. Actually, one of my students in the course we have on prop firms just went through FTMO. He didn't pass it the first time, but he got the profit. So they gave him a free retake. So you can do it again and hopefully pass this time. So that's good. Because FTMO, they have a limited number of days to pass it. And if you don't pass it, then you have to, you have to go through that. So that if you have a profit, they give you a free retake, which is pretty cool. Awesome. Let me see here. Sir, please give me one best setup that works in every market. There's nothing like that. It really depends. My strategy work in different markets. Work in some markets, work in some pairs, even not all the pairs. That's like what everything is basically in trading. So that's impossible to give you. Ricardo asked, do you stay on swing trades when the red news are like the big news, important news are up, or election or big events going on? Usually news, no. If it's a big event like an election, I might stay away for a few days and let the market clear a little bit because we get some crazy things. But even then, most of the time when I stay away, it's better to be in the market from what I've seen. That's just my own experience. You might or might not do that. It's up to you. But I've seen that if I stay away in big event election, my profits is usually lower in general. So you could do that, you could not do that. It's up to you. But I just stay in the market. Shane Day says FTM will return is 70-30. Yeah, it's possible. I was thinking about then 5%ers. It's 50-50, I think. Yeah. They have different parameters, kind of like it's tough a little bit, but FTMO is 70-30, so you get 70% of the profit and they keep 30%. So that makes more sense. Some prop firm they have a different split too. So I've seen even 20-80. With some prop firm with no fees, they give you 20%, they keep 80%. That works fine too. Somewhat fine. Not the best, but yeah, it depends on the prop firm. Cool. So someone asked, do you recommend another company that's good like FTMO? Yeah. Here's the thing. We talk with a lot of prop firms because we have a course in that, of course. We help people do that. I have an interest in that too for fun and because I like trading as well. So none of the prop firms we talked to have been able to kind of match FTMO. They were either like almost the same but not as good, or they were either like really good but not as good in terms of trading metrics and things, like what they give you and things and the fees. So the best ones for now, in my opinion, are FTMO and the 5%ers. So those are the best two ones. Again, FTMO is more for a day trading perspective. If you day trade, that's gonna be better for you. 5%ers is better if you swing trade. Because they have no limit of closing trades on the weekend. They have slightly better limits of risk sometimes. So it's up to you. And they have more time too with the 5%ers. Trader Talent. I'm not sure if I heard of that before. Let me Google it quickly. We have like a lot of prop firm that we look into. A lot of them were pretty much like scams or something. So Trader Talent. Talent Trader Talent. They have a lot of those, so I'm gonna look at this later. But there's a lot of prop firms out there. They're all the thing you have to understand too is that a lot of prop firms are copies of other prop firms. So we talk about this we talked with this firm recently. They're like a pretty good prop firm, and they actually have a white label service. So what this means is that they you can be anyone, then they can give money to you to have prop firms trade your money, basically trade their money but it's your money. So it's like we call it a white label. So a lot of prop firms out there, they are a copy because they are a white label of other prop firms, but they are basically just having worse term than the original prop firm. So it doesn't really make sense to do that for most people, of course, unless you know the person with behind the white label and things. But otherwise, it's not really worth it. Jethro says your consistency, was it through trial and error, or self-training, or have you taken any courses, or done both? I've done everything. So I tried first by trial and error myself. Didn't work for the first 2 years. Then I ended up meeting more traders. I went to meetups. I got a coach. I actually started a podcast back then that helped me a lot. And that's why I become successful and profitable and consistent, by being around traders and getting coaching and everything, not by being by myself. So I guess you could do it by yourself, but it's not really the best, in my opinion. Okay. Which is better? Yeah, FT motor and talent. I didn't research that much. Cool. Okay, says I was trying to attend your prop firm course, but I need to save more money first. During that time, I'll practice paper trading. That's totally fine. I accept that. Take your time, and when you're ready, we can start to work together. No problem with that, of course. Funding talent. Okay, the prop firm is funding talent. We had a look at that recently, I think. Yeah, I did have a look because I have it in my history here. Funding talent is a prop firm. Let me just load the page so I can remember that. Yeah, okay. So I had a long discussion with my team too. This looks like a prop firm that's very similar to the 5%ers and FTMO2. The terms are a little bit worse. It's really hard to understand what's going on there too. That's really complicated. I found a few key issues in the page and the website that I didn't really like. For example, one of them is like they say somewhere. Let me see again. Again, I don't want to imagine. I don't want to like head on them. They might be a good firm too. I'm not really sure. They used to say somewhere that they are located in Canada. They are a Canadian company, but then if you go under in the footer of the page, they are actually they changed it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay, they did change that. So that's a little bit more worrying. Actually, why is it limited? Okay, that's not going well. Okay. So they are from Canada, but they have a limited company, which is not really normal. Usually the company must be somewhere else. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, I'll have to do some research on that, but from what I've seen, it looks really messy. They have like really messy rules for profits and everything. So I wouldn't recommend that. I think it's just not the best thing to do. And they look like a really new firm as well. So I wouldn't really try with that. If I were you, I would go with the more a more reputable prop firms, of course. That would be the best way to do it. RJ is asking, I've been trading for 3 years now, but already blew up many accounts. But I didn't stop, continue learning to demo accounts and having success now. Do you think I have a chance going on to live account? I would say yes if you have done at least 30 trades on a demo account that were showing some profitability overall and some at least like 2 months or more of profit. Awesome. Awesome. Mega Market is asking about CC Trader and Prorium. We have an interview with them pretty soon. The issue is the interviews are good, right? But they don't show the whole picture of the prop firm. So what I want to do in the future is I want to do these more like reviews of prop firms and these comparisons as well. So these are, I think Etienne Crete is a good firm, but I'll have to kind of compare them to other prop firms. I don't think they make sense for most people though, compared to FTMO and the other prop firms, of course. Awesome, that was fast, guys. We went to almost an hour now. I think it's pretty crazy. I want to hear your thoughts, of course, in the comment section as well. We have a giveaway, like I said. I'll send you one of these hats to 5 people. We have a bunch of different colors, so I'll tell you when you can choose this one as well. So yeah, comment in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, either the chat or the comment section if you're watching the replay. And I'll pick 5 people pretty soon, and I'll contact you after that. No problem with that. So thank you guys, appreciate it, and I'll talk to you pretty soon. If you need any help, make sure to let me know as well. I'll be happy to help, and I'll talk to you pretty soon.